Hi, hi everyone. I hope I'm audible. So today's session is gonna be on similarities and differences between plant cell and animal cell. Okay, so let's have a look at the similarities what are there and the differences. So in that case, we will mainly look at the organelle. So with respect to organelle, what is their function? Okay, so we will discuss that. Okay, so let me just check if I'm audible once. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I am an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. Okay, so join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 it is. Okay, so class 9 and 10 biology. Then Telegram channel you can join Unacademy ICSE and ISC both. So this link you can find in the description. Okay, so click on the link and join the channel there. Alright. So special classes, we also conduct special classes on Unacademy platform. Alright, so learn from your favorite educator for free. So these are free classes. Okay, then engage with educator via polls. So that means we conduct quiz. Okay, where we will be sharing the leaderboard at end of the class. I mean at the end of the special class, so that you can know your rank also. Okay, so that basically you can know your rank with respect to the number of students that they are taking part. Okay, so clear your doubts in the live special class. So for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. So now Unacademy subscription feature, so you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. Top educators of India are going to take the class in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Then there is regular doubt clearing session. Okay, so that is about after every 3 sessions. The fourth session will be doubt clearing session. Okay, so if you have any doubts related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubts in this session, that is doubt clearing session. Okay, so then complete syllabus will be covered, mentorship and guidance is given, study material is given, practice tests, live test series and batch courses. So you will have access to all of this. Along with that, there is daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series also. Okay, so you will have access to all of it once you take the subscription. Okay, so for class 9, okay, so since you are in class 9 now, okay, so you can try with 6 months if you are planning to take those who have just entered class 9, so they can also go with the 12 months of subscription. So on 12 months of subscription there is an offer right now. So 12 month subscription if you are buying, so 2 months extra, like 2 months extra free you are getting. That means 14 months of subscription you are getting at 13.5k with the referral code VANIYT, or otherwise it is it will be 15k. Okay, so for 14 months, so since the offer is going on. All right, so this is the offer that I was talking about. Hi Shubhadeep, good evening. So yes, I'm good. How are you? Okay, so there is an offer that is going on. So 12 plus 2 offer. Okay, so total of 14 months, and with that you are getting 3 months of creative corner also. Okay, so what exactly is creative corner? So there is a course on Vedic mathematics, or that might be course on the astronomy, astrophysics. Then there is a course on how like about the art and music, basically to improve your hobbies. Okay, so that is about the creative corner. So you will have access to that as well along with this one. Okay, so it is regularly, it is 15K for 12 months. So now you are getting 14 months plus 3 months creative corner with 13.5K. Okay, so that is, you need to use the code Vani YT. Okay, so this is my code. Okay, so you can use the code Vani YT to get 10% discount, so that 15K will become 13.5K, and this is the offer that we have. Okay, so let's get started. What is the similarity between the plant and animal cell? Yes, can anybody mention what similarity do you find with respect to plant and animal cell? So here it is anyway written. Okay, so you can mention any other similarity if you know. Okay, or what exactly is eukaryote, membrane bound organelle we say, then well defined nucleus, so that itself is a eukaryote. Okay, similar reproduction process by mitosis and meiosis. So how is this? So let's discuss this point now. Okay, so similarities between plant and animal cells, when we mention, both of them are eukaryote. Plant is a eukaryotic organism, animal is an eukaryotic organism. So how exactly is this? Right. Okay, so now whatever, so let's say this is a plant cell now. Okay, having a cell wall, so there is a nucleus. Okay, nucleus is having a nuclear membrane into which there is a genetic material that is suspended. Now if we are talking about an animal cell, okay, so animal cell is there, so same way there is nuclear membrane is there, and then you can find this particular suspended DNA. Plant cells have cell wall but animals do not. Cell walls provide support and give shape to the plants. So plant cells have chloroplast but animal cells do not. Yes, very good, Shubhadeep. Okay, very good. So these are the differences. Okay, and now which I am discussing is the similarities. So similarities, both of them are eukaryotes. Okay, so that means both of them are having a well defined nucleus. So it is the same thing. Okay, so that we call as a eukaryotic cell. So you can see that a cell will be there. Okay, so DNA is not suspended freely. So DNA is covered by a nuclear membrane. So that itself is a well-defined nucleus. Then we can also find, am I audible? Because it is raining here, too much of raining. Yes, I think the noise is more on the outside. Am I audible, Shubhadeep? So membrane bound organelles also we can find. Okay, so in case of plant, in case of animals, we can find a membrane bound organelles as well. Okay, then similar reproduction processes. What is that similar reproduction process? So mitosis is there, then meiosis. So these are the cell divisions. Okay, so cell division we will be seeing. So what is that cell division? The cell will divide into two. Okay, so two equal division we can see. Okay, so there is a nuclear division, also cytoplasmic division. So cytoplasm will divide, all right, then nucleus will also divide. So that is the equal division we can see. So cell division can be seen. So all these are there. Both of these steps can be seen in case of the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Okay, so let's get to the next point, that is you can see the structural difference over here. Just a second. All right, so you can see the structural difference there. Okay, so there is a plant cell and then you can also observe there is an animal cell. Okay, so now there are different organelles. So these different organelles, which is present, which is not present, we will discuss in detail. Okay, so let's go to the part, so that is the differences. So where do you find a difference in plant or animal cell? So like Shubhadeep said now. Okay, so Shubhadeep said that there is a difference in cell wall. Okay, And he also said about the difference with respect to chloroplast, that is a plastid. Yes, that's right. Okay, so chloroplast or a plastid, when we mention, so that is, different colored bodies can be found, so that we call as a plastid. So then vacuole differences we can find, size and shape differences can be found. Okay, then there is location of nucleus, so that difference we can find. Golgi bodies. Okay, so reserve food, so that can also be considered. So what is the type of reserve food? So whether starch is stored or whether it is the glycogen is stored. Okay, so Golgi body, whether it is present or absent, where exactly do you find the location of this nucleus, whether the lysosome is present in plant or animal cell or not. Okay, so plant cell, we usually do not find a lysosome. In animal cell you can find it. Okay, so animal cells it can be found. Then centriole, if we are discussing, so centriole, this particular what you see, centrosome. Okay, so centrosome will be there, and this centriole is arranged perpendicular to each other. So this one is the centriole. Okay, so vacuole, is present if the vacuole is large, or whether it is small, or whether it is absent. So that also we will be discussing. Okay, so all this we will discuss now about the differences in case of plant and animal cell. Now what was the first point? It is with respect to size and shape that we are going to see. Okay, so now this is with respect to size and shape. Okay, with respect to animal cell and plant cell. Okay, are you all understanding? Any doubt? So any doubt you have, you can ask. Okay, 1 second. All right, so now with respect to that, animal cells, so these are smaller. Okay, and plant cells we can find these are larger. Okay, so that is rectangular cells you can find. So here somewhat spherical or oval cells you can find in case of animals. Okay, so what is micrometer? 10 to 30 micrometer is written. That means 10 power minus 6. Okay, so 10 into 10 power minus 6 or 30 into 10 power minus 6. Here it is 10 to 100 micrometer in length. So there also micrometer is about 10 power minus 6. Okay, so plant cells are somewhat bigger as compared to a animal cell. Okay, so then these can be round shaped, spherical shaped. We can also, depending on structure, you can also find a oval shape. Here most of the cases it can be rectangular shaped. Okay, so we can find a rectangular shaped cell, that is a plant cell. All right, okay, just a second. All right, so now moving on to cell wall. So what do you find? Where do you find a cell wall? Yes, anybody has any idea about this one? Where do you find a cell wall? No idea? Okay, so now when we mention about a cell wall, so it is the outermost one. Okay, and it is a rigid one. So that is in case of a plant cell. Okay, so let's say this is a plant cell now. Okay, so now what you see is this outer covering, what you see, so that is a cell wall. Okay, so cell wall can be found in case of plants. Okay, but the animals do not have this cell wall. So it is a rigid one, so it is a rigid cell wall. Okay, covering the cell, so that is the cell membrane. So it is going to give a shape to the cell. Since it is rigid, that cell shape will be maintained as such. Okay, so it will provide a shape to a cell, and also it is doing, since it is rigid, since it is tough. Okay, so this can also provide a protection. Okay, but in case of animals, when we mention, so this is absent. Okay, so we do not find a cell wall in case of animal cell, because they need not erect themselves, like Now plants stand erect, whatever may be the condition. So that is mainly with respect to tree. Now if we are talking about plants, so if there is more losses occurring, so we can see slight bending, okay, but they are still able to stand erect. So that is mainly because cell wall is providing a support, okay. So moving on to the next one, plastids. So what all are the different plastids that you find, okay. So now this one is a double membrane bound organelle. So one of the example we can take a chloroplast, okay. So chloroplast we can take an example over here, okay. So double membrane bound organelle, it will contain a pigment, photosynthesis and storage. So let's draw one of the main organelle which is there. So that is a chloroplast. So now this one is a chloroplast, which is double membrane bound structure, okay. So there you can find a thylakoid as such. So there you can find a thylakoid. So this ground substance what you see, so this is completely a stroma, okay. So here you can find a stroma. Alright, so I'll just label it as stroma, okay. So this structure is of chloroplast, okay. So this is a chloroplast now. Now what you are seeing here, so this one is thylakoid, that is only single, okay. So now this whole thing when we are drawing, so this can be called as a granum, okay. So this one is a granum, alright. So now there is a connection, so there is a link. So this one is called as a lamellae, stroma lamellae, okay. So there is one more we can draw, okay. So both of these granum are interconnected by the stroma lamellae, and now these two together, the plural term can be mentioned grana, okay. So you will find different different structures inside. So here this part, thylakoid itself is having a stored, or the pigment which is present here can be chlorophyll. So where exactly do you find a chlorophyll in case of a plant cell? Is that is inside a thylakoid, okay. So in the thylakoid, that is in the chloroplast, you find a chlorophyll inside this particular thylakoid. So you can find a chlorophyll here, okay. So this whole structure what I have drawn, so this is a chloroplast, this one is a thylakoid. In the thylakoid you can find a chlorophyll. So here also it is the same thing. So here and all you can find the chlorophyll. So there will be chlorophyll pigment, okay. So that is why we see that the plant is greener, all right. So moving on to this one, so this can be found, so since they perform photosynthesis, okay, so it is present. So photosynthesis is done here, photosynthesis is not done, okay. That is why it is absent, all right. So moving on to next one, vacuoles, okay. So what exactly does the vacuole do? So this is a membrane bound structure. All right. So vacuole, when we mention, so it is a membrane bound structure. So this contains water and waste material. So depending on the type of organism. So what is that now? So let's have a look at this one, okay. So we will just see this. So this is now a plant cell, okay. So you can find this one is a cell membrane now, okay. So most of the space is occupied by the vacuole, okay. So this is now a vacuole, that is about 90% of the space is covered by the vacuole itself. So somewhere in the corner you can find this structure, so that you can find the nucleus. What about animal cell then? So now if we are drawing an animal cell, so let's draw animal cell now, okay. So you can find a nucleus over here. So there is a nucleus, and then not so big, we will just erase that, all right. So now when we draw a nucleus, so this is basically a little amount of space is anyway being taken. So this is now a nucleus. Vacuole is absent, okay, or otherwise even if it is present, so you can see smaller vacuole, many vacuoles can be found, okay. So but it is way too smaller. So So it is either smaller or this can be completely absent. So that is in case of an animal cell. So this is now an animal and this is now a plant cell. So you can see 90% of the space is taken by the vacuole itself. The rest of the organelles like mitochondria might be there. So that is taking the space there. Okay. So here, in plants it is large, in case of animals it is smaller. Alright. So moving on to the next one, centrioles. Where do you find a centriole? So it is a cylindrical organelle. Okay, so cylindrical organelle can be found which is composed of a protein tubulin. So you can find tubulin protein there. Okay, then this one helps in the cell division. So this is going to help in cell division. So it is a tubulin protein. Okay, then you can usually plants do not have the centrioles or a centrosome. Okay, so what will be there? So cell plate formation can be seen, and there is a division of a cell that can be seen. Okay, so with respect to that, so this is absent in higher plants. Okay, but in case of animals this is present. So what exactly this tubulin protein will be there? So now this is a centriole which is arranged at right angles. Here you can find tubulin proteins that are present inside over here. Okay, so then there is one more centriole that is arranged at the right angle. So there is again a tubulin protein. So this is now a centriole. Okay, so centrioles are arranged perpendicular to each other. So this is perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this is the arrangement, and on the whole this structure, what is there? So this structure we call as a centrosome. Okay, so centrosome, where do you find centrosomes? You find in case of animals but not in case of plants. So that is why it is present and here it is absent. Okay, so let's go to the lysosome. Okay, so now lysosome, when we mention, so these are rarely present. You can see that. So we can see present also, but not all the time. So only when a defense is required. So under those cases it will be required. Okay, so it is rarely present. Degradation of macromolecules by vacuole, then Golgi bodies. So that is the main function that can be done. Now in case of animals, this can be present. Okay, so what exactly is lysosome? So this is a suicide bag of a cell. Okay, so let's say now this is a lysosome. Okay, so you can find many enzymes in there. Okay, so all these are enzymes will be stored in there. So lysosome is basically, now this one is a lysosome which will have a stored enzymes. Okay, so you can find enzymes whenever there is a action. So let's say bacterial entry might be there, viral entry is there. So these lysosomes are going to fight that. Okay, so that means the enzymes are released so that it will kill the germ that has entered. So now this is an enzyme, this is a lysosome. Okay, so lysosome is having many enzymes, and whenever pathogen enters, so it will engulf. So this is going to combine with the pathogen. It will make holes in the body of the pathogen. Okay, so that is how it is killing a different organism that is entering. So it will make a holes in the body of the pathogen, and basically this pathogen will die. Okay, so that is how the lysosome works. So this contains the digestive enzymes, degrade macromolecule. Here I just told you an example of a bacteria. Okay, so what if it is a older mitochondria might be there, or a Golgi body might be there, or let's say vacuole might not be working. So in that case, let's say this is a plant cell now, where you can find it rarely anyway. Okay, so in that case a lysosome is present with its own enzyme, and let's say mitochondria which is here, so that might not be working well. So what will be done now? So this lysosome will combine with the mitochondria and it will kill this whole cell. So that means old organelles, damaged cell. Okay, so old organelles, damaged cells, or let's say infected cell. So any of these cases are them. So this particular lysosome is going to digest all of them and it will kill the cell. Okay. So that is why we call it as a suicide bag of a cell. So lysosome is called as a suicide bag. Okay. So then moving on to next one, that is the Golgi body. So where do you find a Golgi body? So in case of plant, there are many Golgi bodies. Okay. So many of them you can find, that is again smaller ones. But in case of animals, few can be found, but they are much more larger. Okay. So they are larger as compared to a animal one. Okay, sorry, plant one. Okay. So now what exactly is the function? Processing and packaging of the macromolecule. Okay. So processing and packaging. So let's say, I'll just explain it to you here. Okay. So now we will draw a animal cell, or maybe we can draw a plant cell. So let's draw animal cell alone. Okay. So now this is an animal cell. Okay. So now what would be the case here? So there is a nucleus. Okay. So this one is a nucleus. Nucleolus is present. So its own genetic material is present. Okay. So then you can find the outer membrane. So there is one inner membrane and outer membrane. So in continuation, you can find what? You can find the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so this is now a endoplasmic reticulum that can be found. Okay, so this is now a endoplasmic reticulum which is found. Okay, so if the ribosomes are attached, so that we call as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. So let's show some ribosomes that are attached over here. Okay, so when we observe it under a microscope, so these are basically, this appears as a rough. Okay, so this one is rough endoplasmic reticulum, this one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so now what exactly is a Golgi body? So membrane that is there, and it is getting separated. So this structure what you see here is a Golgi body. Okay, so this is a folded membrane having its own membranous flags. Okay. So now this is a Golgi body. So what exactly does the Golgi body do? So Golgi body, once the protein is being synthesized here, as the nucleolus is mainly there for the ribosome synthesis. Okay, synthesis of ribosomes. So now what will happen? The protein is being synthesized, and here in this part, that is in the Golgi body, as the protein gets synthesized over here, so this protein will start entering. We will just show the protein. So protein will start entering over here. Okay, so what exactly Golgi body does? It will process and it will pack that macromolecule. So this can be mainly protein. Okay, so protein modification can also be done. So in that case, lipoprotein might be there, or we can also say that the glycoprotein can be found. So different modifications are done, and then the packaging is done. So processing and packaging is the function of the Golgi apparatus. So now what exactly is the reserve food that we can see in case of plant and an animal cell? So now even when we mention about a plant cell, okay, one second. Okay, so now when we mention about a plant cell, so you can find there is a starch. Okay, so there is a starch. Then in case of animal, the stored food is glycogen. So both of them are made up of a glucose units only. So many glucose units will be there, because these are polysaccharides, starch or let's say glycogen. So both of them are polysaccharide. Both of them are made up of many units of a glucose itself, but the bonding is different. Okay, so that is the bond formation what we mentioned. Okay, so that bond formation is different. So because of that, there is a structure, or a stored element we call as a starch or a glycogen. So let's say carbon atom 2 is binding with the carbon 4. Okay, so that is one case. So carbon atom 2 with the next one carbon 4, if it is binding. Okay, so in that case, that is a glycogen. So there, based on the binding bond formation that occurs, so even though they are all glucose made up of only, so they are named as a different based on their bond formation. Okay, so starch is there, glycogen is there. So now in case of plants, starch is stored. Where it is stored? It is stored in tubers, it is stored in seeds, okay, and it is stored in fruits. So we can find this particular protein, okay, or a carbohydrate. So let's say starch we are talking about. So starch storage which is there, which is a carbohydrate. So that is done in a tuber. So it is a modified one. Okay. So root, stem when we mention. So modified structures what are there? So those are tubers. Okay. So seed is also having a carbohydrate. Fruit is also. What about animals then? Where exactly glycogen is stored? So this is stored in case of muscles and in livers. Okay, so you can see storage of this particular the glycogen. Okay, so mainly it can be stored in muscles and also in liver. So this storage can be found there. Okay, so whenever you have done a overeating, okay, so whenever overeating is done, so what excess amount of glucose which is there, okay, so this excess amount of glucose will be converted into glycogen, and that glycogen will be stored where? So that will be stored in the liver and the muscle. Okay, so this is in case of animal cells. All right, any doubts you have? So next, okay, so before I end this one, so let's have a look at the summary, and also I have some questions, so we will discuss the questions also. Okay, so now animal and plant cells are, both of them are eukaryotic. Okay, so that means a well defined nucleus we can find. So there is a well defined nucleus. Okay, so that is with a well defined nucleus and several membrane bound organelles. So there can be endoplasmic reticulum, there can be Golgi body. Okay, so then you can find a vacuole, but smaller ones can be found in case of animals, or it can be completely absent also. Okay, so then plant cells, so ribosomes also you can find in both of them, but there is no difference as such. Okay, so plant cells contain a cell wall and a large vacuole, central vacuole, and the plastid. So this we do not see in case of animal cell. Okay, so now in case of animal cells, so they lack a cell wall and plastids, but contain centrioles which are not present in case of plants. Okay, so this centriole which is there in case of animal cell, which is mainly there for the cell division, so this we do not find in case of plant cells. So this is arrangement of these centrioles is basically perpendicular arrangement can be seen. So they are arranged perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this is now a centriole. Okay, so this whole thing what you see now, so this we call as a centrosome. Okay, so there is a centrosome with aster formation, so there can be aster rays. Okay, so these are the aster rays. So centrosome formation can be seen. Okay, so let's have a look at this one now. Which cell organelle is not present in an animal cell? Anybody has any idea where which cell organelle is not present in case of animal cell? So their options given are cell membrane, cell wall, then nucleus and a Golgi apparatus. Yes, which is the one? So you can see it clearly, right? All right. Okay. Alright, so which cell organelle is not present in case of animal cell? So you find a cell membrane, so cell membrane is present. Okay, then you can also find a nucleus. Okay, so you can also find a Golgi apparatus. So cell wall is not there. Okay, so you do not find a cell wall in case of animal cell. Okay, so cell wall we can find in case of plant cell, but not in case of an animal cell. Okay, so this is the answer. So how do plant and animal cells differ in size and shape? remember, so this we discussed in the very beginning of the class, that is size and shape. So what is the difference of plant and an animal cell with respect to size and shape? Okay, so the plant cells, when we mention, so plant cells are larger, okay, and these comparatively these are smaller. Okay, so this is one, so that is size. Now shape, when we mention, so this is somewhat rectangular, we can say. Okay, and this one we can say so somewhat spherical, or maybe we can say round, or there can be oval. Okay, so this is the structure of animal cell. Okay, so that is with respect to shape. So size and shape differences it is asked. So what is the role of large central vacuole in case of plant cell? What does the large central vacuole do? Yes, anybody? In case of plant cell, so there is a vacuole, right? So what does this vacuole do? No idea? Okay, so vacuole, when we mention, so vacuole is the one where storage of cell sap will be done. Okay, so cell sap storage, that means water and minerals are stored there. Okay, so what exactly is cell sap? Water and mineral storage can be done at this particular vacuole. Okay, so vacuole is where it is stored, and some pigments can also be dissolved in there. Okay, so pigments are also can be seen. Okay, so now this is answer for this one is cell wall. Plant cells are rectangular while animal cells are round in shape. Plant cells are larger than the animal cell. Okay, so now what is the role of large central vacuole in case of a plant cell? Okay, so plant vacuole holds about 90% of the volume of the cell. So it is having minerals. Okay, it is having a water, so both of these together we call it as a cell sap. Okay, so it also helps in storage of pigment. Okay, so pigment storage will be done, amino acid storage is done, sugar storage is done. Okay, so it helps in storage of pigment, amino acids and sugars. So all these are the functions associated with the large central vacuole which you find in case of plant cell. All right, so yes, we saw the summary and we saw some questions also. Okay, so any doubt you have, you can get in touch. That is on Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10 biology telegram group. All right, so here a new batch is started already, that is the guardians batch. So now this is an ongoing batch, so only 3 classes are done, so you still have a lot of time. So if you're planning to take the subscription, you can do it today. Okay, as there is 1 second, yeah, so as there is offer that is going on, so 12 plus 2 offer. Okay, so if you are taking a subscription for 12 months, so 2 months you are getting, so that free. Okay, so 2 months you are getting free, that means 14 month subscription you will get with the 13.5k, so with the referral code Vani YT. Okay, so or otherwise it will be usually 15k. Okay, so instead of 15k you will be paying 13.5k. Okay, so that is for with the referral code Vani YT. So basically you are getting 10% discount on the subscription. So ICSE class 9 orientation week. Okay, so this is get to know about the course plan, then Unacademy learning app, so that also you will be understanding with the top educators. So chemistry, physics, then maths, biology, so all these subjects are being covered. So you can participate in this, and you can if you are coming top, top 3 winners are to get a Amazon voucher which is worth rupees 500. So you can participate in this one. So anyway, I have sent the link for this. in my telegram. So you can join my telegram, you will find this one, okay, that means orientation link you will find in there. So you can enroll for that. Once you enroll, so basically you will be getting a notification 10 minutes before the class. So you can go for this and stand a chance to win Amazon voucher, which is worth rupees 500. Okay, so introducing community. So never miss on any update from your favorite educator. So get session notes and practice material. Share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. Okay, so check out the link to the educator community below. So now Bugs Bounty. So this is opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Then report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. So how you can watch my special classes. Okay, so all you need to do is download the Unacademy Learner app. Open the app and click on get started. Okay, so then enter your mobile number and the OTP. So sign up using your email ID. So you can go for any of this. Okay, so I mean all of these. Then with that you can also select, there is a two of the categories which you will find: competitive exams and class 6 to 12. So you can select class 6 to 12. Then you can select ICSE. Okay, so there is a ICSE category also that is available. So you can select that. So since you are in class 9, so you can select class 9 then. Okay, so then you can select the language that you prefer to learn in. So whether it is English or a Hindi or a English, so you can go for any of this. Go to the description of this video and click on the special class link. Click on notify me and you will get notified 10 minutes before the class begins. You can also use my code, that is to unlock a special class for free. So what is that code? This is the code Vani Kari. Okay, so with this code you can unlock the free products or free courses that are there on Unacademy, so that you can unlock. Okay, so thank you all. Alright, so any doubt you have, you can get in touch. So this is my telegram group, Vani Kari. Okay, so Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10. So you can join this telegram group. So click on bell icon to get notified about the classes. Subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy, ICSE and ISC both. Like and share the video. Download the Unacademy Learners app now. So PDF if you need, I can send it on my telegram channel. So do let me know. So once you join the channel, so do let me know what all PDF you want, so that I can send it later on. Okay, so you do let me know which PDF you want, so I can send it on this telegram channel. All right, and so yes, I'll end this session. Okay, all right, see you all in the next session then. Bye bye everyone. So do participate in orientation week. So this is the orientation week, so you can participate and win the Amazon vouchers there. So you need to, we will be conducting a poll. Okay, so all easy to moderate questions will be given, so you can easily score them. Okay, so just participate and stand a chance to win a Amazon vouchers which are worth rupees 500. Okay, so for all the subjects there will be a orientation session, so you can participate in that. Okay, all right, so for that you need to download the Unacademy Learner app and start taking these special classes, because these are completely free. Okay, so these are special classes, anybody will have access, you will also have access, so you can participate. All right, okay, then see you all in the next session. I think next section I'll come up with the biology strategy for class 9. Okay, so let's have a look at the roadmap or maybe a strategy for class 9. So I'll come up with that. Okay, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, thank you so much.